And questions for Coach?
I just wanted to get your comments on letting Jabari go yesterday, and your guys' new two-way signing. Is he out on the floor with you, Brodric?
Yeah, we obviously made a move yesterday. Looking at our roster overall, and wanted to have some flexibility there. But as far as Brodric coming over, talented guy, got some time with Cleveland and Houston over the last few years. Guy that we feel has some upside and potential, coming from a smaller school. We like his grind, we like his story, and just integrated him in today. First look, had a good workout yesterday, but someone we just keep an eye on for the future.
Just wondering if there's any sense on Jaylen and I guess to a lesser extent Al in terms of coming back.
Yeah, nothing new. Those guys are doing well, but just waiting to hear back with the testing results and all that. Find out some obviously in the next few days, but they're doing well as of now, and hope to have them back. We'll let you know when we know.
Will you be comfortable like playing Jaylen, like if he hasn't done on court stuff, but he's cleared hypothetically, you know?
It's a discussion that we're going to have. You know, we like to get somebody reps, obviously, instead of throwing them to a game, being out all that time. So something that we traditionally do not do, but something we'll have a discussion about and see where we go.
Zoom question from Mark Murphy.
Hi, Ime. Two questions. Along those lines, is Al just further back in terms of what his timeline is? And also, are you guys comfortable just leaving that extra roster spot open?
Regarding Al, you know, it's different for everybody, but you know, he obviously got contracted after Jaylen, but timelines work different for everybody. So we're just waiting on the results and testing, but they are both doing well. As far as the last spot, taking a look around the league in general, you know, like some of the things Jabari brought and still looking at the last roster spot to see what opens up with other releases in the league.
Next Zoom question from Bobby Manning.
Hey, Ime. Where are you guys at with the defense, you think, at this point, the switching? You know, some guys being newer to that kind of system and some of the lapses you had at times for the preseason, you know, compared to where you started, where do you think you're at with the defensive system now?
We've improved overall throughout the preseason. Guys being out has kind of halted some of the progress as far as that, but we've also implemented some other things as well. So last few days we have added to the repertoire defensively and have a few different options to go at, but that's something that we really want to get good at. And we saw that progression throughout the preseason. So it is not natural for everybody, kind of reverse engineered it as far as the way we went through it with the switching and on and off ball, something they're not accustomed to, and wanted to really work on that, hammer that home first, and then we can get back to more traditional coverages. So we got a lot of work in, saw improvement, but at the same time did see some slippage in areas and have touched on those areas in the last few days of practice.
John Corrales.
Ime, we saw what we saw in preseason games, but obviously you see something else in practice. How much does the performance of certain guys that are fighting for minutes in preseason games impact how many actual minutes they're going to get when the season comes around?
It's an opportunity to get out there, and we like to see what translates from practice to games. And regardless of who's been in or out, it's opportunity for guys, and you can tell a lot and learn a lot in those situations. So their confidence, aggressiveness, comfort level, we look at all those things as well as who fits with certain lineups. So we didn't get a chance to see all that because of the guys missing, but you can tell from practice to games who has carried over and who's really improving in certain areas. So they get a live look there, opportunity with the minutes that they had, and you can tell a lot and learn a lot in those situations.
Sherrod Blakely.
Yes. Even with your first game against the Knicks, obviously they're a very different team in terms of some of the additions. Can you just take us through just what you're seeing as you prepare for the Knicks as far as some of the things that they're looking to do maybe differently or more of this year as opposed to past Knicks teams?
Yeah, we really recognized in the preseason they're playing with tremendous pace. I think that's a league-wide thing, but The Knicks are really getting up and down, pushing it with their guards, hunting threes in transition, playing fast, and looking to shoot the three a lot. But defensively, they are who they are, and they're going to play extremely aggressive and hard and deny elbow catches and be physical. So that doesn't change regardless who their roster is. But offensively, they're doing some different things, playing with a faster pace and shooting more threes. And so we prepare for that. And like I said, it's a league-wide trend where guys are trying to play faster. And so we've had some time to adjust to that in preseason, and the Knicks will be a good test on opening night with that.
Ime, what are you looking for on Wednesday? Do you think, do you know you'll see moments where you're going to want to pull your hair out and things that are like, what the hell are we doing? And is that something that will test your patience, or are you expecting to see an efficient game with mistakes, but just that progress? Like, what are you kind of expecting Wednesday?
Improvement overall in the execution and the effort has always been there since the first day of practice, and you've seen that translate into games regardless of who's playing. They've played extremely hard and unselfish, and so we want to see that continue. There will be moments, obviously, with guys being inserted back in the lineup possibly and some different combinations there that you'll see some inconsistencies, but for the most part, the growth and the effort, I talked about it from day one, effort and execution, those things have been improving throughout our games. I think you kind of see that in game results. Whoever played hard, played together, played unselfishly, and so that's the foundation we're kind of trying to start on. When we add guys back in the mix, we'll improve on certain things with as regarding our personnel, but overall, just growth in those areas, consistency, execution, everything we've been harping on from day one.
Do you have a naturally patient disposition to understand it's a process, or will you have to kind of bite your tongue at times to understand it's a process?
I do understand that, especially with the guys that have been out. You bringing in a new staff and some new personnel in general, it's going to take some time with the shorter preseason and only 4 games as opposed to 8 or 7 in the past. So you have to expedite the process a little bit. But when guys were taken out of the lineup, we had a little bit of setback there. But as I mentioned, the guys that have played have picked up where they left off. So it's going to take a little bit of time. We're looking at these first few games as well to kind of build toward where we want to get to. But at the same time, we've had good growth throughout the preseason. So we want to see that continue.
You've used Jason in a few different ways than he was being used in the last couple of years, especially in the post. I guess, what kind of conversations have you had throughout the summer with him about what he feels like his strengths are and where he's improving, and how have you implemented that into the way you use him?
Really, that he's a threat all over the court. He should be able to score and make plays from all over the court. Teams can double team him on the post. We can obviously play him on the perimeter, play him in pick and rolls, play him on the elbows, areas that are hard for him to be double teamed. And the other part was the playmaking. And so he's welcomed that. He understands the attention that he draws. And so he's been great in practice and in the games, really picking the gym apart. And so we want him to be a playmaker, but also look to score, and just talk to him about using his size advantage, his height, and he gets shots off on anybody, but not always settling. You got a smaller guy there, punish him. You'll draw the crowd, and then from there, it's just making the right play.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.